Real talk, the metaphor messiah, man. I got this one. Let's go. You ever seen the morning star? Mr. Metaphor Messiah, back to show you who we are. I represent a legacy, a pothead like the 70s, a different kind of mind. They say we only speak in melodies. Legend in the game, I think I found a solution. Got a crazy kind of flow, I need a verbal institution.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dead on Dave coming right at you from Germany. That's right, Germany. It's late, I'm exhausted, but you know what? I was pretty damn entertained by SmackDown tonight. Maybe I'm falling into a delusion, but SmackDown was solid. They did some very interesting things tonight. Things I was not expecting, and I like that. That's always a very good way to go. We didn't see the match that was on the card there a couple seconds ago, though. The thing that was advertised, AJ Styles versus James Ellsworth. But that's okay. I'm not upset that we didn't see that. But even though I was entertained tonight, and I was, there's no question I was entertained. There is something that bugged me pretty big, even though I ended up ultimately enjoying it. And that allows me to go to a brand new segment here on Dead on Dave Productions called 30 Seconds of Rage. And you see, the premise is very simple. I know so many of you guys are bloodthirsty animals, and you say I don't hate fuck things enough, and maybe I'm not as mean as I should be on certain topics in wrestling. So 30 seconds of every show is going to be dedicated to just saying every nasty, vile, horrible thing that goes on in my head during a WWE event. Now, today I'm going to do it rather straight up. I'm going to give it to you as copiously as I can in my own style. But going forward, what we're going to do is we're going to give you guys an opportunity to donate to the channel and pick the style in which I do 30 Seconds of Rage. If you'd like to hear it as a Rastafarian man or as a Valley Girl, anything you want, you can donate, make it happen, and I will do 30 Seconds of Rage in that style. So something new, and there's going to be an accompanying promo, jingle, whatever that I'm working on. I'm trying to work on, but I don't have the right voice for it. I'm going to try and find the person who might have the right voice for it, and we're going to have that as well. We're also going to have another promo made very soon. In fact, it is done, but the volume wasn't right. It was made by Hound, and it was for this man, Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah, because his latest music video, Notice Me, has hit 250,000 plus views on YouTube. He's my good buddy. He's my friend. He's one of the best rappers I have heard in my entire life. And there is no bullshit. That's not hyperbole. I love this guy. I love his music, and it's fantastic. 250,000 plus views on YouTube for Notice Me by Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah, off of his latest album, Black Mozart. So we got a couple of cool new jingles, promos coming up. But like I said, we're starting this with 30 Seconds of Rage. Let's start the clock, and here we go. All right, check this out, man. I'm trying not to lose my goddamn mind over the fact that SmackDown's roster is so fucking terrible. It's so awful that they have to take their main event feud and their mid-card feud, and they have to basically just do a little do-si-do. They can't do anything else. They can't bring anybody else in because you only have two goddamn faces that are worth a fucking damn on your roster right now. That is bad fucking management. That's all it is. No build, no fucking real shit, and I am done. Fuck! 31 seconds. Oh, 31 seconds. Almost 32 seconds, but 30 seconds of rage. There you go. 30 Seconds of Rage. And Pittsburgh Boy says, do it as a douche. So you want me to do my Pittsburgh Boy impression? I could do that. All right, so there you go. There's 30 Seconds of Rage. And basically, to elaborate off of what I said in 30 seconds, which wasn't a lot of time. I really thought 30 seconds would be a little bit longer than that, but 30 seconds goes pretty quick, especially when you're angry. But that is a little bit of a problem, the fact that they could not do anything outside of take their Intercontinental Championship feud and their World Championship feud and kind of just flip-flop them. That's a little bit of an issue, right? It's a depth problem. For those of you who do not think that Samoa Joe is on his way imminently to SmackDown, yeah, I would be expecting it very, very soon because it's happening, buddy. It is happening very, very soon. It's going to be good stuff. I'm actually really, really excited about the whole thing. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Hopefully they can add some more talent to it. And look, yes, Dolph Ziggler, in fact, like we talked about here on this channel a few times, failed upwards. He failed upwards. He couldn't beat The Miz, but he's able to beat The Miz and 2 other people to take on AJ Styles for the title. I guess that's how it goes. I guess that's how it works. So that's okay. It's not a huge deal. I think the inclusion of Harper was a nice touch. I actually really enjoyed that. I thought it was a good move, and he looked great tonight. Fantastic in the main event. Really did. But Ziggler made the most sense of the guys that were in the match, and seeing what he's going to be able to do on a wrestling level with AJ Styles for a title, now that's interesting. That's a spicy meatball. I'm excited about that. That should be a lot of fun. Do I care about the build? Do I care about Dolph Ziggler? No, I don't. No, I really don't. But it should be pretty damn interesting. We'll see how it goes. All right, let's get into the crux of Smack Digging It Down, because a lot did happen tonight, and it was a pretty damn packed show for 2 hours. Felt like a longer show than 2 hours. I gotta admit, it was pretty damn interesting. But before we do that, I need to give some love to you guys, because you give love to me. You guys were here earlier with me. Oh, we got our first donation of the night. Let's check that out. Alan Thick's Corpse. Oh, that's in poor taste. Donated $5. This SmackDown was taped? When did they tape that? 30 seconds on Mick Foley Rage, please. Monday Night Raw. Stay tuned, because maybe that's exactly what I'll be doing 30 seconds of Rage on. Maybe that's exactly what I'll be doing it. Now, I could always be coerced into doing more 30 seconds of Rage, but I don't want to do too many in the same show, because that's just kind of cheap. I'm not cheap, though. Well, I'm somewhat cheap. I could be bought. I could be rented. Maybe if enough donations come in, maybe I'll do another 30 seconds of Rage. I can't promise anything, but I very well could. Thank you for your donation. But Alan Thick's Corpse, really? Come on, Mr. Seaver just fucking died, man, just a couple of weeks after Mrs. Brady. That's fucked up. That's poor taste. But I want to give a big shout out to all you guys who've been supporting the hell out of the channel, including that guy who just donated. Fantastic. Thank you very much. But Josh Lyons is here. Mark Dat Boss is here. Terry Snow Queen is here. Broken Young Bone is here. Derek Bradford, Sarah Small, Sleeping Angels, a whole bunch of people. Terry Snow Queen says, love the graphics, Dave. I do too. It's made by the one, the only Guncannon over at Iron Knight Graphics. Great job. If you want to get some graphics made by that man of gun and cannon, go right into the description box. He's there. Check him out. Let's see some other people who are in here. Makad is here. So is Fake Ass Twat. Some Die Nameless is here. Broken Kevin Eats My Nuggets. That's good shit. Virtual Animatrix is here. Guncannon is also here. Nova FTW. Pittsburgh Boy is here. So is Joe Martin. Alejandro Martinez is here. Good stuff. All kinds of people. I appreciate you all hanging out. And let's get into SmackDown and get the hell up out of here so we can get some sleep. Mad Money Mo is also here. CSO Gambling, don't worry, I will be getting to your call. I'm going to get to everybody's call in just a little bit. Let me get through the quick review. We're going to get through it fast. Okay, guys. Opens up, we find out that James Ellsworth is in no way, shape, or form to compete, which translates to AJ's ankle is not quite ready, so they had to go another week until AJ was going to be in the situation. So we open up with The Miz in a ridiculously red suit, but he kind of looked cool, to be completely honest, in the ring for Miz TV with AJ Styles. And they had an interesting dynamic. I mean, they were very good at first as far as being buddy-buddy, and then The Miz kind of flipped the script on him when AJ basically concluded that he cleaned out the entire division. The Miz took exception to it and called it bullshit on that and decided he was going to get himself into the situation, which led to everybody and your mama coming out. Out comes Dean Ambrose, out comes Dolph Ziggler, and they fight, and everybody gets in a good move except for AJ because his ankle's still bothering him. And it turns out to be, we're going to go ahead and throw in Luke Harper as well, because why the F not? Why not? Let's get Luke up in there. I like it. A good move, smart move, and he looked great the entire show, by the way. So that sets up a number one contenders match, fatal four-way rules between Harper, Ziggler, Ambrose, and The Miz. We go to a very deceptively solid women's match with Natalya and Carmella. Now, I've been critical over the Carmella Nikki Bella situation. I didn't really care for it all that much, except for the ending, which I thought was very well done. Except for Carmella whining and crying and saying, I know who attacked you, and saying it was Natalya. Now they're going to a different place with Natalya and Carmella fighting each other, but both of them, trying to talk to Nikki Bella. Carmella trying to convince her that Natalya is the culprit. Natalya getting pissed off and calling Carmella a liar. Nikki Bella just out there with her big old boobies on camera, which is fantastic. I have no qualms on my part for that at all. And, it was an interesting dynamic, and the match was solid. Natalya and Carmella did a very good job in the ring tonight. I was very impressed with what they did, and it was a lot of fun. Carmella ends up getting the victory via roll-up, the women's finisher, it seems like. Gets the roll-up and the victory. It was a good match. Very good match. I did enjoy it. By the way, I know you guys are excited because it got announced tonight. John Cena's returning. 2 weeks. John Cena rules. John Cena's back. You guys know. Come on, you're happy. Come on, you're happy. Don't act like you're not happy. You know it. All right. So we get a Gabriel Iglesias backstage segment, which wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Apparently, a guest host, a guest starring role is just a quick segment in the back. Not so bad. It wasn't as cringy as I thought. He made a couple of jokes at The Miz, and The Miz and Maurice laughed maniacally, and it was all right. Apollo Crews was there too. Holy shit! Apollo Crews, who's a face, by the way, and he's a talented face. His role on SmackDown was laughing at Fluffy's jokes. Good stuff. We then get the number 1 contenders battle royal with American Alpha, Hype Bros, Rhino, and Slater, Breezango, The Ascension, and Vaudevillains, which they claimed was the entire tag team division. Apparently, the Usos didn't get the memo. Apparently, fuck the Usos. Apparently, that's the new memo going around. So they were not in the match, but the rest of the teams were. In a fairly solid match for an over-the-top battle royal, especially a tag team version. It was pretty cool. We got more of the build to a breakup of Slater and the Man Beast. We got some really spectacular power move eliminations out of Jason Jordan and Connor. I thought Connor really represented himself well, especially because the Ascension is an absolute joke. But not as big of a joke as the Vaudevillains. Holy God. But, the match was actually fairly solid. Tyler Breeze, once again, showing that he cannot work a bad match if his life depended on it. Did fantastic stuff, even in a horrible, horrible gimmick. Still knocking it out of the park. Really good stuff there. It all comes down to Zack Ryder, once again, getting a moment, getting a victory for a match with the Wyatts that absolutely nobody's going to care about. Nobody gives a shit about Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to see them take on the Wyatts, let alone beat the Wyatts. Really bad move there. Part of me wants to say that because I feel like American Alpha is ready, but maybe they're taking the Bayley approach. They don't want to do too much too fast. It's a cooler, but it seems like an unnecessary one. I guess you want to feed a couple of teams to the Wyatts to establish dominance. And then American Alpha is also going to be winning some matches, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I can't sit here and act like I know what they're going to do because I don't. SmackDown tag team division is weak, and that's saying something because the Raw tag team division is stale. So there only needs to be one tag team division. Plain and simple. One tag team division, and that's it. This isn't working. The tag team division split is not working. It works with the women. It doesn't work with the tag teams. There's just not enough of them. Not enough. Maybe there will be at some point. There's not now. But still, for good, bad, or indifferent, it was a decent match. Very solid, kind of fun. And Ryder gets the victory, which I know is going to make a lot of people very, very happy. We get a Baron Corbin vignette that I completely did not pay attention to. Got to be completely honest. But I did pay attention to Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss was there looking good. Looking good. Fantastic, as a matter of fact. Alexa Bliss doing her thing with Deonna Purrazzo. And Alexa Bliss, I think this was the best thing that I saw the entire SmackDown. I really do. I love what she did. Refused to take her on. dissed her really good, says I don't do charity matches. And then she ends up cheap shotting Deanna. I loved it. I thought it was very well done. She was funny. She was witty. She was vicious. God, that woman she could make me do so many crimes. Oh my God, I'd be her bane. She could just go, and I would do it. I would do whatever she wants. Oh my God, I would be her little puppet. I do all types of crimes for her. Just let me smell it. Just let me smell it. Anyway, I'm sorry. But after all that wonderfulness, Becky comes down saying she wants her rematch. Alexa says, not tonight. Shane says, here comes the money and the rematch, and you're going to get it on right now. Apparently, Daniel Bryan doesn't even need to show up. He had one segment on like at the very, very beginning of the show and then did nothing. Very odd. Why make him the GM if you're going to keep bringing out Shane to do stuff? Makes absolutely no sense to me. But whatevs. Who cares? Who gives a shit at this point? It is what it is. So the match is going to happen. And you know what? Very, very solid match right up until the point where Alexa says, oh, my knee. Oh, my knee hurts so bad. I can't take it. My knee hurts. So she plays a little knee injury there. I actually thought she hurt her knee. When she went out, the way her knee buckled, it actually scared me. It looked like she really hurt her knee. And then, of course, it was a fake. It was a work. It was a work. But the match was very good. Her and Becky really have great chemistry. And I'm actually looking forward to a longer feud between these two. I love Becky Lynch. I love Alexa Bliss. They're fantastic. And it's going to be great to see how they continue on their feud. Alexa's showing that she did have a knee injury and then remembering. That was priceless. How cute is she? She's so deviously cute. Devilish, devilish woman, baby. Devilish, devilish woman. If you know what I'm talking about, baby. She's a devilish woman. Anyway, still to come. I'm reading my notes ridiculously. Jesus Christ. Wow, is that really all the matches that we have? We didn't have a whole hell of a lot of matches on this thing because we are up to the number one contenders match. It felt like the wrestling that we did have were not short matches, so it kind of felt like it was a very fleshed out. You don't have to pack it with 50 matches, I guess, if you have 4 or 5 that have good length and solid build, because I didn't have a problem with the wrestling tonight, not even a little bit. And the only match that we haven't talked about is the Fatal 4-Way, which was spectacular. Luke Harper was great in this match. Not good, son. He was great. Dean Ambrose did Dean Ambrose things. The Miz played some coward role and then ended up costing the match for Dean Ambrose. So now you have 2 setup matches. You have a great feud with at least a great match. I don't know about a great feud, but Dolph Ziggler and AJ Styles is going to be great as a match. I don't know how much farther it's going to go past that as far as build, but it is going to be a great match. There's that, and then of course the Intercontinental Championship, which is where Dean needs to be. Dean and the Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. Look, I still have a problem with the fact that they're gonna just do a little do-si-doing for the 2 main positions, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Is Delfada talking about my hat again? Oh, okay. Delfada, hey Dave, I really didn't know what the hat was earlier. My bad. No, it's cool, man. It's my Wounded Warrior Projects hat. It's my alumni hat. I was just messing with you. There's no way you could have known exactly what it was. I know you wouldn't actually disrespect it. It's all good. Don't worry about it. I appreciate the apology, Delfada. I really do. So I really enjoyed the match. Dolph Ziggler gets the victory, and I enjoyed SmackDown. It wasn't great, but I think it was every bit as good as Raw, but for different reasons. SmackDown was finally essentially the wrestling show. We got quite a bit of wrestling, just not in amount of matches, but all the length and quality of the matches, I think beat up Raw this week. And it's been a while since I felt that SmackDown was superior to Raw, but it was. Look, there are flaws within SmackDown. The roster's not deep enough. That is a problem. However, I do enjoy the way that they did it. And the matches are also very, very well done. So pretty good stuff there, and I'm happy that that's going that way. So there you go. That's really what I have for the review. If I got to put a number on it, I give it somewhere around a 7.5. I think it was a little bit better than Raw. not much. 7.5. I gave Raw between a 6 and a 7, somewhere in that category. But a 7.5, I think a really solid one too. I did enjoy it. So, good stuff. But that's really all the review I have. I don't have any more review. I don't have any more notes. It's just I'm very, very tired. So let's turn it over to you guys, man, and we'll go this show as long as you guys want to see it, because now it's your show. Call in on Skype, David Vancura, DAVID, VANCURA, and of course the number 702-751-2902. You can also get in touch with me on Twitter at DeadOnDaveV. Make sure you support the channel by hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel, and if you want to donate, like there was a donation earlier, maybe convince me to do another 30 seconds of rage on a topic of your choosing in a style of your choosing, you can donate in the description box or become my patron on Patreon. There's all kinds of ways that you can support the channel, including going and getting some gear over at www.deadondave.spreadshirt.com. Do not blow your fucking hot breath into my goddamn promo. Oh my God, why did I take that call? Anyway, so there are all kinds of ways that you can support the channel. So just make sure you do that. It's all in the description box below. Get yourself some Dead on Dave merch. Also, if we get to 5,000 Twitter followers, I could sell my shit on ProWrestlingTees.com. Boom. All right, let's start your phone calls. If you got them, now's the time. Let's get to them. We had one, but he hung up. Nothing I could do about that. And if we don't have phone calls, that means Dave can go to sleep early. Dave can go to sleep early. Isn't that so nice? Isn't it nice? I think it's nice. I don't necessarily need it to happen because I love talking to you guys. I love hanging out with you guys. I appreciate you being here. Fake Ass Twat, Pittsburgh Boy, Derek Bradford, Casey McLaughlin, Dofada. I appreciate all you guys being here, man, hanging out with the copious fat man. It's been a hell of a day. We've done a bunch of, we've given you a lot of content today. It's been great. And you know what? Sometimes that's enough. I think you guys have had enough of me today, and that's completely fine. No callers. That's a rarity. But I think a lot of people are probably still watching 205 Live. I simply just wanted to go to sleep, so I decided not to watch 205 Live. Kakarabia is here. Kakarabia is here. What's up, Kaka? How you doing, buddy? Terry Snow Queen's here as well. Let's go ahead and take a call. 347. You're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
Yo, Dave. If not Dolph Ziggler, who would you have given that title shot to?
Well, the problem is there's really nobody. That's the issue. I guess they could have shooken things up a little bit with Luke Harper, but it's heel on heel, and WWE seems so against the heel on heel. It's difficult. It's difficult. So I think while I don't like the Dolph Ziggler choice because he's coming off of a loss in a feud, I don't think that it really was any other option at this point. SmackDown is bare. The cupboard is bare. So, Dolph seemed to make sense.
I'm thinking, I mean, I would have liked, I was hoping when the draft happened that Bray Wyatt would have turned face by now and would have been built up as a possible contender. I'm just surprised that we're almost 6 months in and there's no viable top faces other than the last two contenders for the title.
Yeah, it is a serious problem. The interesting thing is, it doesn't seem to be a detrimental one as of yet. Because let's face it, while yes, it would be nice to see the Wyatts as a face faction, or at least Bray as a face, they're doing something very interesting right now with Randy Orton. In fact, you can make the argument, this is the best version of the Wyatts that we've seen so far. I mean, Luke Harper looks amazing. Randy Orton seems revitalized and doing something interesting for the first time in a very long time. And Bray Wyatt seems to be having a good time as well. So I'm, aside from the fact that, yes, we desperately need another face to do something in this, or a title turn, which I really don't want to see the title being taken off AJ. The fact is, do you mess with something that's working with the Wyatts just because you need another face?
Oh, man, I would say the Wyatts have so far have been a failure. I think you would have thought they would have tried something different.
You think this new version is a failure?
No, not this new version. I think it's unnecessary, but I'm saying the Wyatts up until this point over the years.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that's fair.
And I think that it's more having Bray, Luke, and Randy Orton as single stars in the mid and upper mid card is more important for SmackDown than having them as a unit, I think. And I think that
there's no other factions. You know, that's probably the reason why they're still together. There's no other factions, and you got to figure that there's a bigger plan of brewing. There seems to always be a bigger plan of brewing with the Wyatts. It never comes to fruition. But you got to figure it's coming at this point, that we're about to see it happen, because all the cards seem to be stacked for it. I mean, adding Randy Orton to the Wyatt family, I think while I wasn't with it at first, seeing what they're doing is converting me. Now, I understand what the possibilities of what could be, but here's the bottom line. Everything with the Wyatts up until this point hasn't worked. Yes, they've been a little bit over at times, but it doesn't really seem like anything has been sustainable. Now, maybe that's some of the booking decisions with the losses and stuff like that, but maybe it's a little bit more than that. Maybe there's something a little bit deeper. Obviously, the merchandise sales are not overwhelming, and we know what merch sales can do for a faction. Look at the New Day. Just broke Demolition's tag team title record solely because they are a merchandise dynamo. You know, so there's a lot of factors to take in consideration. While some of the hardcores are big fans of the Wyatts, it's very possible that WWE is noticing a disconnect in the casuals, and that's the main market. So that's probably why the Wyatts have not gotten to the point where a lot of people think they should have by this point.
I'm going to ask you about something I noticed last night, Dwayne.
Okay.
Where I know it's a SmackDown show, but what exactly is going on with Roman Reigns? I don't.
Oh fuck!
People were saying that by the middle of the year he'd be, you know, the reactions were changing. But is booing Roman Reigns not just a smart thing, or are smart towns and states and cities growing?
Here's the problem. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because I'm noticing he's getting booed in traditionally babyface heavy towns like Oklahoma and Texas and
Texas.
you know,
Texas
Missouri,
is not Texas is actually kind of a heel. Remember, Texas is the birthplace of We Hate Cena. So the We Hate Cena guy that started in Texas. So I don't know about that, but you do have a valid point, and let's discuss that for a second because it's interesting. Roman Reigns, it's a two-sided coin. Because, yes, we're seeing the boos continue on, but in almost every one of his matches where he's in singles affairs, and it's not just about him, you know, hitting his moves and then being done with it, he does tend to convert a good majority of the crowd. And we're getting to a Cena situation. Let's go Reigns, Reigns sucks. So let's go Roman sucks. So he's winning in that regard, but the bigger regard in which he's winning, and forgive me for going to the merch again, he's still a top 5 guy. Everybody has a fucking Roman Reigns shirt. So while we may not be fans of him as hardcores, we're a minority of the demographic. And the majority of the demographic, which has always been, even in the Attitude Era to an extent, it's always been about the younger demographic and about the people that they could sell repeat buyers to. They're Roman Reigns people. Women, Roman Reigns people. The casuals, whatever you want to call them. Wrestling fans, the fandom that actually matters. They're Roman Reigns people. And so he's going to continue to sell. So the reaction doesn't mean shit. Just like the reaction to John Cena. It became part of his character. It's part of the reason why I think that Roman was built the way he was. They wanted to create another Cena. So they used polarizing methods to do it. Some intentional, some very much not intentional. Nobody could have planned that The Rock was going to get booed at the fucking Royal Rumble when he came out to save Roman Reigns. Nobody could have planned for that, but it happened.
The Rock didn't get booed.
Oh, The Rock got
situation, people saw through the bullshit.
Yeah,
Rock didn't get booed.
No, I'm sorry. If The Rock's out there and they're booing, Rock got booed. They, like, you could say it was a situational boo, whatever. I don't give a shit. The fact is that situation was so bad that even The Rock himself could not save it. That, to me, is a bad sign. You can play semantics, but the reality is Rock was there, tried to save a situation, fans weren't buying it, booed out of the building. That's bad. So that's how bad the situation has gotten at times. But people still want to see the guy. So it's a difficult thing. Do I think he's going to be a champion again very soon? I honestly don't fucking know. I want to say no. I want to say there's no way he's taking the belt off of Owens on Sunday, but I really can't put it past WWE. Because there's this disconnect where they just don't care what the hardcore audience wants. And the hardcore audience does not want Roman Reigns. But another problem is Kevin Owens, while being a good champion, he hasn't been a great champion. He hasn't been a fantastic champion. In fact, if it wasn't for Chris Jericho, this whole fucking run would have been a failure. Nobody could have expected that Chris Jericho was going to do the things that he's done. So it's an interesting discussion, man. It's a tough topic to really pin down of the ins and outs of what works and what doesn't with these guys in particular. But we'll see what happens, man.
What is with the swerves as of late? Because they did they've done the Eva Marie thing, which was on script, was scripted, and they've done the Ellsworth thing, which was not their choice. And they did the Bray Wyatt thing when I think Randy Orton got the concussion, and they advertised the show, advertised their match, and they didn't go against each other. And then they did the thing at WrestleMania with Taker and Shane. I mean, they've done this for several years. There's nothing new, the lies and the misadvertisements and all that.
Oh,
but
that's wrestling.
What do you think is going on? What do you think is going on that it's never been to the point where they've done it so many times throughout
It's always
the year?
been this way. I disagree with you. It's always been this way. The only times in wrestling history where it hasn't been this way is where there's been exceeding health in organizations, which simply doesn't happen a lot. WWE's had an injury bug over the last couple of years, which explains a lot of the swerves and misdirection that they've had to go with. A lot of the plans that they've started has had to be stopped. A lot of long-term things that looks like they were going to be in play for a while, such as Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, even Roman Reigns' drug suspension, all kinds of things that end up happening. That's going to change your plans. Losing confidence in guys like Dolph Ziggler when they give him a title run, 2 title runs, in fact, and he gets hurt both times. Those change plans. The retirement of Daniel Bryan, the CM Punk situation, all the things that happen that take away your momentum or cast doubt on the people around you tend to make things difficult to book in a, I guess, predictable fashion. I mean, like, you can't get, even though WWE is still quite predictable most of the time, it's a really fucked up thing, because wrestling, as far as like false advertisement and things like that, it's not as uncommon as you might think. I think when you look through it and you really get into unless we pull out a calendar and go like month by month, what was supposed to happen, what wasn't supposed to happen. Hell, you can look at one of the most obvious versions of this, the whole Sting situation when he fucking went Dark Crow, when we started to see him and then he would disappear for 3-4 months. A lot of people think that was just because to raise suspicions and all that stuff. People don't realize Sting was fucked up. Sting he went to fucking rehab during that time. Nobody knows this. I didn't know it until I heard him say it. It's unbelievable. People don't realize what's actually happening most of the fucking time. It is what it is. It's wrestling, man. It's hard to fucking keep everything going.
But why advertise a guy for a match if you don't know 100% he's going to be ready? You can't tell me that they didn't know that AJ wasn't going to be fit for this match. They advertised him for the title match last night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and he's been injured for a while now, for a couple days. They knew he wasn't going to be ready.
They really thought he was going to be ready. I do feel that this is one of those situations where they did feel he was going to be ready. When it comes to ankles, he could have woke up this morning and just felt he was a little bit more stiff. Look, Ellsworth was there. AJ was there, not in a walking boot. So that, to me, the fact that they were both there, nobody was sent home, there was no wind of it that was letting people know that this might not happen. That, to me, tells me that their plan was probably to go ahead with it. You advertise it because it doesn't make sense not to. It's not AJ Styles versus The Undertaker. It's AJ Styles versus fucking James Ellsworth. Who fucking gives a shit? That might be the explanation. Is it a good one? I have no idea. You got anything else for me, buddy?
No, I've been on for too long. I'm gonna get out of here.
Hey, you brought some good questions, man. There is not a lot of people who make me go this deep into like actually waxing. I hate being a wrestling douche, and you turned me into one because you give me such good questions where I have to get like seriously wrestling douchey. So I appreciate that. I don't know if it's entertaining, but I appreciate you challenging me.
I always will. It's never been changed.
All right, buddy. You have yourself a good night. What was your rating for tonight, by the way?
Peace out. 7. I'll give it a 7.
It was a good show. It was a good show. I agree.
Yeah, it was.
All right, buddy. You have yourself a good night.
All right, peace out.
Take it easy. A good call. Really, really good call. That was fun. All right. Real talk, the Metaphor Messiah is here, and we already showed it once. We're going to go ahead and show this again. We do not have the full promo that is being made by Hound. It will be up soon. There was some audio issues with it, but it will be up soon. But this is here, Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah, 250,000 views on YouTube. Make sure you're checking him out. He is the man. Notice Me off of his latest album, Black Mozart. 250,000 views on YouTube. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Let's take another call. 480, you are live with Dead on Dave.
What'd you say about Kevin Owens not being a great champion?
Come on, dude. You know it's true, brother. If Jericho does not get involved, this whole situation falls on its fucking face.
Owens is great on the mic, though. He really is.
He is. I agree, but what would have happened if Jericho wouldn't have had this ridiculous resurgence? I just don't know if it would have worked the same. Look, there's no way of knowing for sure. He still had great matches with Seth Rollins. There's no question about that. So there's no way of knowing. But because of the reactions that we've seen with Jericho and Owens, it feels like the only thing that is making this work at times is Jericho.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I mean, I'm not upset about what you said, but I mean, if you
sounded
remember,
like it. You sounded like you want to punch me in the face.
Anytime someone says something negative about him, it just makes me upset because the guy's so damn good. He really is.
Well, you do have his balls all up in your mouth. Hey, you're not 7, right? Because Kevin Owens hates 7-year-olds.
Oh, yeah, I saw that at the house show. No, I'm 14.
How great was this? Oh, my God. For those of you who don't know I did bring it up on a prior show. Kevin Owens at a house show. A 7-year-old tries to give him a high five. He's high-fiving other people around him, but the guy that he's wrestling that night is Roman Reigns. The kid was wearing a Roman Reigns shirt. So he lectures the kid, says, "You chose to wear this shirt. Don't try to touch me. I don't want you wearing my shirt." It was fucking amazing. Well, the mom goes all goddamn wounded victim, goes online, thrashes WWE, thrashes Kevin Owens, talks about how her son is basically scarred for life and blah, blah, blah. I'm reading this thing just getting more and more angry because I am so tired of this pussy-ass society. Can't even let wrestling heels be heels anymore. Get the fuck out of here. Then Kevin Owens does the most amazing thing in the world. Now, you guys might think maybe Kevin Owens went to his house, brought him a bunch of gear. Maybe they threw a surprise birthday party for the kid. You would be wrong, sir. And you don't know Kevin Owens because Kevin Owens responded, used a quote from the woman's own article, something along the lines of, and I quote, the choice of a shirt led to Owens bullying my son, and it devastated us. And he said, ... not really, but if I complain it on social media, maybe I'll get free stuff. He's so good. He's so fucking good. I love Kevin Owens, man. He is awesome.
The guy is doing his job as a heel, and he's doing it really damn well.
Yeah, but unfortunately, he might be doing it too well because I would not be surprised if that is the very reason why Roman Reigns could win the title back on Sunday.
Oh, God.
I know.
That would be ridiculous.
It would be. It would be, and it wouldn't be. You don't fuck with money, man. And look, now we're even in a worse position than we were when fucking Linda McMahon was trying to run for senator. Now Linda McMahon is in the fucking White House, man. She's running a fucking office for Donald Trump. they're not going to want to piss anybody off, man. They're going to get even crazier with this shit. So it's a little worrisome. It's a little worrisome.
Yeah. I'm not that worried about it. I actually don't see it happening. I do think he's winning, but
now I want him to lose just to see you upset. I want to drink your tears. If he loses, I want you to bottle your tears and send him to Germany, because that is what gives people everlasting life. Tears of the fallen. Oh, how good would that be? Salty fucking fresh tears to save my life a little longer. Sorry.
I doubt it's going to happen. I don't see it. I don't. I really don't.
The more you say it, the more I want him to lose. Oh, okay. What's your rating for tonight's SmackDown? You talked about everything else but fucking SmackDown on my SmackDown review. What'd you think of SmackDown?
Wasn't good. I'll give it a 4.
Wasn't good? What wasn't good? Tell me what wasn't good. Did you watch it? You didn't watch it. I could tell you didn't watch it.
I did. Becky looked like a complete idiot not getting Alexa back in the ring. That was just stupid as hell.
That's a small little thing. Come on.
I don't know. That just didn't work for me. I thought the
good
main
up
event
to
match
that point. Jesus.
The main event was good. Ziggler winning is what? Really? Again?
It's the only thing that made sense in the situation, man. And look, you could talk about the fact that Ziggler shouldn't have won. And look, he just lost a goddamn feud. So Ziggler winning again, come on, get out of here with that. However, Ziggler, you can't fuck with the idea that Ziggler and AJ Styles is going to be a great match. It's going to be a great match.
I agree. There is no way Ziggler wins, though. AJ is on the roll. He is the best in the business right now.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Agreed. I don't agree with your 4, but you know what? I agree with your right to have that opinion. So hope you have yourself a good night, and over the top rope you go.
See you.
A 4. Kevin Owens fan. We are taking your calls live on Skype. David Vancura, DavidVancura. And, of course, the number 702-751-2902. Love to hear from you guys. And then I'm going to be getting the F on out of here in just a couple of minutes, because I be tired, yo. I don't want you to look at my dreary, exhausted face. So here, take some of this. Hi. Would you like to buy some weed? Sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. I think that's about going to wrap it up. I don't think there's really much more to talk about. I think we've hit everything on SmackDown fairly well. We've had a very, very, very nice little concise, tight review. It's tight. We debuted a brand new segment, 30 Seconds of Rage. That's basically what I want to do for a jingle. I don't know if I can do that. I don't think that sounded bad, but I want to really get the rage type thing. So if there's any death metal singers in the crowd, please hit me up. I really need some help. 30 seconds of rage. But speaking of rage, I'm sure at some point Pittsburgh Boy is going to make me want to punch a baby. So let's see what he has to say. Pittsburgh Boy, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
Well, either way, Sunday you're either going to get my tears or Matt J's tears.
Yeah, why your tears?
Because if Vern loses.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you got his cock in your mouth. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, that's true.
No, I don't.
Oh, yeah, it's deep in your mouth. Wait a second, what do you mean? What do you mean you don't? Dude, we all know what's really going on with you, man. We've seen
We're not going. No, we don't need to get into this.
Pitt. Come on, buddy. Yeah, I'm your boy. You're my friend. We go fucking like balls deep. You and I are fucking tight, son. You know what we do here. Come on, what do we do? What do we do here?
We make fantasies come alive.
That's right, we make fantasies come alive. Look what we've done. We've dug deep into your diary's deepest, darkest thoughts, and this is when you still had hair until you were a pussy-whipped fucking man-child who let his woman cut off all of his hair. But still, you still had hair here, and you were happy. You were a little bit doughy. Look how fucking good this was. What part? What part would you like me to repeat? The pussy-whipped, the man-child, no hair, all of that was true.
What do you mean I'm pussy whipped?
You're not pussy whipped. Where's Chloe? Get her on the phone. Let's ask her. Get her on the phone.
She's at her apartment.
Why is she never around? I'm starting to think that Chloe.
It's finals week. It's finals week. She's got finals. So do I.
Finals week. Really? That's weak
yes,
sauce.
It's finals
I
week.
want her on this show, and I'm gonna fucking know if she's a paid prostitute. I can fucking tell. I know when people are being paid. I know it.
I'll appreciate you talking about her like that.
I'm not saying, no, see, you misunderstood. I didn't say she was a paid prostitute. I'm saying that I don't want you to pay a prostitute to play the role of your girlfriend. Now, if she actually exists, obviously she would not be a paid prostitute, so I've said nothing wrong. However, I'm just saying I think she might be imaginary. And now it's okay.
No, she's not.
Now maybe she's imaginary and you don't know it. Have you thought about that?
What the hell are you talking about?
Have you thought about maybe that your loneliness and despair and desperation has driven you to...
I firmly believe that she's not imaginary.
Wait. Now, see, now that worries me. That worries
me.
You're saying you firmly believe, not that you know. You see, that firmly believe that's like something you'd see in Fight Club. She could be your Tyler Durden.
She fucking sits next to me right in my philosophy class.
But that could just be in your imagination. I don't know. I'm just saying I'm worried about you as your friend, and you might have made her up. Look, you're a very lonely man. You drink a lot. You fall into pools.
What the hell are you? I sound lonely.
Oh yeah, you are a little. You obsess over Roman Reigns. It's okay. Listen to me. Look, we're family here, buddy. I'm here for you. So I'm speaking to your subconscious now, okay? I'm not speaking to the illusion that you have developed.
I can fucking hear Derek laughing in the other room.
I'm speaking to your subconscious, okay? Listen to me. I want the real Pittsburgh. I want to talk to Reed. I don't want to talk to Pittsburgh boy anymore. I want to talk to Reed. I know he's in there.
Don't be giving out my name.
You've given your name's in your fucking Twitter handle, you douche. Get the fuck out with that shit.
You once retweeted and tweeted at me?
Yeah, good for you. Reed, listen to me, all right? Pittsburgh boy's an illusion. And I need to know if Chloe's an illusion. All right?
She's not.
Okay. Are you sure?
I'm positive.
All right, here's what I'm going to need. I'm either going to need her physically on the show, like on camera. And if I can pick out a prostitute. So don't try to buy one, okay? I'm telling you. Or you're going to have to produce some underwear. I mean, like stained underwear. It's going to get really awkward.
First of all, I'm not going to show what shit she wears. I have more respect for her than that.
Okay. Yeah. As you should. As you should. Look, I had an imaginary friend until I was 27. And I had a lot of respect for him too. I'm just saying, if you're having those type of issues, I want to help you get through it, okay? Because I love you.
I am getting very confused in this whole fucking situation.
What? Look, you're the one who wrote down that you wanted to have butt sex with Roman Reigns, which is how I was able to find it and make this graphic. I'm not the one with the sick problems. You wanted to get Superman punched right in your love box, and you even wrote... You did. You wrote it. I saw it. That's why... Do you think I just made this graphic up? Do you think that that just happens? No. Someone had to be artistically inspired to be able to fucking make this shit. And obviously, that's what happened. Look, his hand's on your shoulder. You can't just Photoshop a hand on a shoulder. That's not how science works. It's okay.
Oh my God.
It's all right. Look, I love you. I love you. I love you.
I love you too, bro.
All right.
I love you too.
All right. I want you to go get some sleep. And tomorrow morning, if all this went well, because I've been doing a subconscious hypnosis almost this entire time we've been talking. You didn't even know it. So if all this went the way that I'm expecting it to go, Chloe will not exist tomorrow because I've expelled her from your imagination.
She does exist.
Well, if she does, that sounded creepy as fuck. That sounded creepy. I bet she does exist. Woof. I think we do. Oh, I think we made a great breakthrough here, buddy. We made a great breakthrough. I appreciate your call, Pitt.
Wait, can I talk about the house show?
Nah, I don't care. Talking about your imaginary love life was a lot more interesting.
Imaginary love life is not fucking imaginary.
Well, I'm just saying, does anyone know this to be true? Derek might be imaginary. I'm fairly certain that that's just another fucking screen name that you made up.
What?
I'm just saying.
Wait, I couldn't understand what you said. What did you say?
Wait, who am I talking to right now? Am I talking to Derek? Am I talking to Pittsburgh? Am I talking to Reed? Am I talking to Chloe?
Chloe?
What
are you talking about?
Chloe?
What the fuck is going on?
You tell me. You're confusing me. You're starting to speak in different tongues. Your voice is changing. control yourself? Why are you getting silent? What's happening? Talk to me.
Put
down the gun!
What the fuck is going
Pittsburgh,
on?
put down the gun! Reed, don't. He's on camera right now. I can see him. Don't do it, Pittsburgh. Step away.
After this, I'm going to smoke a cigarette. I am so fucking confused by this shit.
Thanks for your call, Pittsburgh boy. I hope you had a good time at your house show. That was great. Have a good night. I'm really fucking tired. I can't tell you how fucking exhausted I am. Look at my fucking eyes. I have no idea what just happened. I couldn't fucking tell you what just happened. Not a clue. Not one fucking iota of a clue of what just happened. Oh, God. All right. I think we're going to wrap it up. Thank you guys very much for joining me right here on Dead on Dave Productions. I hope you had a good time. Oh, my God. We will be clipping that. If I can remember what the fuck happened when I wake up, we will be clipping that. I hope you guys had a good time. Thank you guys very much for joining us right here on Dead on Dave Productions for your copious SmackDown review. I had a great time. We'll see you next time. Make sure you hit all of the like buttons, all of the subscriber buttons, and all of that good stuff. And check out everybody on my featured channels list, including Guncannon, the man who made this wonderful graphic over at Iron Knight Graphics. Also, Tommy C's SFTP, Jeff Duff Huffman, Grand Slam 87. Thank you guys so much for joining me. We will see you next time right here on Dead on Dave Productions. And if you don't have talent, have talented friends or imaginary ones. They fucking work too. Keep it copious, folks. And peace.